Sharks, what's good? I see this Flash Challenge, the return, and I want to make sure I get some thoughts in. This is a very interesting challenge. I have some thoughts on it. I'm sure you have some thoughts on it. So without further ado, before 7 p.m., before most of the games get rolling, let's just jump into it. So we're in. Just minimize this real quick. So tonight's Flash Challenge, as you all know, is called The Return. It is about Klay Thompson returning after 941 days off the court in the NBA. He's been in the G League for the last week or so. He was training before that. He had some pretty serious injuries. I believe one of them was an Achilles tear. So obviously we're happy to have him back. He's one of the best players in the league. Let's go. Let's get it. Now, for all of you who don't know, and I'm sure if you popped into Top Shot in the last 24 hours, you know. And by the way, my roommates are making a live soundtrack right now. They're generously, without really realizing it, have agreed to provide this music for us. So I hope it's good, because I don't know what they're playing right now. But they're pretty good music, though, so should be okay. Anyway, for those of you who obviously know, or for those of you who don't know, in the last 24 hours, you've seen this. Klay Thompson vintage vibes pop all the way up to $293. That's a big pill to swallow. I almost wasn't going to do it until I ripped my archive pack from the other night from that Flash Challenge. And as some of you know, it turned up a mint 10,000, serial number 3,000 and something archive LeBron, which was like, oh boy, we're I was able to sell it for 164, and all of a sudden we were off to the races in terms of getting to this. Had that not happened, had I not gotten my LeBron in that pack from the three-pointers attempted challenge, I believe it was, I would not be participating in this. But it turns out that I am. And because I'm participating in it, as some of you are, we don't know exactly how many. And that's what this video is about, is trying to figure out what to expect here. I want to figure out what I'm going to expect. And so I've had thoughts on it over the last couple of hours. I've been talking to some folks on Twitter, and I figured this is the best way to break it down. So we go into Klay here. That was always a high mint. I believe this has got to be. I would imagine this is the highest mint for a Top Shot debut, which has always made it kind of a risk. Now, I had one a month or two ago. I had one prior to Gift Back Day, December 18th, which was the premiere of this channel, of course. And I sold it, I think I wrote it from 124, sold it for 139. Would love to have it now for obvious reasons, but I do not. So I had to go ahead and cop one for $302. Now, it's a pretty penny. Again, wish I had it sooner. I wish I had waited a little bit. I could have saved $9. Oh well, you can't time it exactly right. So be that as it may, it was a high mint. I saw somebody on Gift Back Day buy maybe 30-something of these, and I was like, are you sure? Because just as soon as you're buying them, because of how many there are, someone else could always come in and list it as a sale. And this is a high number. Some folks are concluding that this could be the bottleneck. I have a different theory on it, but let's jump into it. See how many are hidden in packs? 255, which is not even 1%. I mean, not even 10%. 565 listed, 8,882 proudly owned, which means that the max mint on this is about 9,450, something along those lines, because 255 are out of circulation, and thankfully none got traded into the locker room and none have been burned yet. So that's our max figure. Our max figure is 8,882. Now, you're saying that's ridiculously high, but I have reasons why, of course, I don't think this will hold up. In fact, I don't think the mint will be anything near it. So we go to Marketplace. And so the requirements, as you know, are the top 5, or if you don't know, now you will, the top 5 leaders in three-pointers made tonight, and 3 rare three-pointers. Now, obviously, as it is 5:30 prior to the majority of the games being played for the Flash Challenge, I do not know who the leaders in made threes will be tonight. I do, however, know what a rare three-pointer will cost, and so if we obviously go to our handy-dandy search engine, we can figure that out. We go to play type, three-pointer, and we go low to high. And we deal with these filters here. And we find out that at this moment, around 5:30 p.m., as I'm taping this on January 9th, the best you can probably do is 347, about 520 at this moment. It was more last night. It was about 540 last night, but at this moment, the best you can do, if you don't have any rare threes, is about $520, which is prohibitive enough, right? On maybe you can get them sub 175, maybe you can't. Maybe you end up picking one of each. These all-stars, rising stars. Obviously, these are the higher mint rares. Hopefully, for some time to come. I don't really want too many 4-digit rares coming up on my screen anytime soon. I don't think there are for Series 3, but yeah, keeping it here for right now for what we need. It's 520, thereabouts. Klay, that's another 300. So the question is, how many people have rare threes already, and how many people have Klay Thompsons that they're able to not only not sell this, but also take on at least, at most 3 of these. Now, I don't think everyone going into this challenge has 0 rare 3-pointers, but I also don't think that everyone going into this challenge has 3 rare 3-pointers. So, what I think most people participating in this challenge started off with 1 already. So I think the best case scenario here is if you already have a Klay, you're looking at 1 rare 3 plus 5 leaders in 3-pointers, one of which could be a 12K mint, a 15K mint, a rookie, Anthony Edwards, someone like that. In which case, the bill, I think, at best, even if you got in early, at best, I've got to think the least you're spending on this challenge is, if you have the Klay vintage vibes already, the best you can do here is maybe 250. The best, the absolute best. If you have everything else and you want to get involved in this challenge, 250 at best, right? And who really has that in their dapper? I mean, if I punch in my dapper real quick, just so you get a sense of this, I don't even know what the sale is, but I'm at wit's end here. I had $300 when I opened my Series 1 reserve pack, and now I have 17. So whatever the heck is coming down the pike tonight, it better be under $17 because I'm not depositing another dime right now. I can't do it. So this is it. It better be. I better have it covered. I got Alonzo Ball just to be safe. I thought I might need it, and it better, whatever I need better fall under that $17 umbrella. Now I got Mo Pete, I got Darren, I got Nate, so I'm covered because I have the full Run It Back 05-06 set, so that obviously means I'm covered for most of this. And I had to shell out to get this Klay, as you find out. Now, check this out. I think this is an important point. Obviously, if you ever want to look at the movement of lowest ask, oh no, this is median sale. Okay, well, if you ever want to look at the movement, you need not look any further than Live Token itself. If you want to zoom in, you can select an area. I'm just going to say the last 3 days. Oh, I messed that up. Can I just do this then? Okay, I'm having some trouble here. I don't know why I can't do this. Well, as you can see, 3 days ago it was $226 for the median sale for all cereals. 2 days ago it was $230, and yesterday it topped out at $335. So I got in at $302. It's still, I think, in the middle of the graph here for, obviously some people unsuspecting. But I think the point I'm trying to make here is that it was still above 200. It really has seen an entire spike in the last 2 weeks. It was up as much as 100%, so for median sale, not low ask, for median. I got in here-ish, below what today is right now, or above what today is right now, but not by much percentage-wise. But it was already above 200. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, if you got in around 5 days ago, if you got a Klay, you got in for $263. So my point is that despite the fact that there was a little sell-off, because people were short on Dapper, presumably. The price hasn't really gone up that much over the last 5 days, which leads me to think it's not a 100% jump, because people are realizing now in the last day, I mean, yeah, it went up $100, which is about 40% from here, but a lot of people didn't sell. Some people who had multiple cereals kept theirs, and there were just a lot of cereals. And so there were a decent amount of buys, but, you know, is it above 9702? No. Is it above, not, you know, 9,450? No, it's not. There are only so many people who can hold one, and I know for a fact that there are some people who hold many of these. So we're at a point where not everyone has one, right? Not everyone who wants to be involved in this has one, and the truth is that if you got in above $200, you saw your price increase not that much. Like sales, yeah, there were a lot of sales to be listed for $250, right? Some people came out of the woodwork and said, yeah, I'll sell my Klay, which I got for $117, for $250. Smart of them, right? They took home a nice little game there. But for everybody else who was already holding, you know, they may have made a little profit on this, or they may have said, you know what, let me just get involved in the challenge. If you started at 263, does it really make sense for you to sell even to 335 if you know this is going to be a prohibitively expensive challenge, which this is? So some people did get, I guess, long story short, some people did get in here. Wow, I really got the soundtrack going right now. Okay, that's pretty cool. Some people did get in here. Some people got in here, up there, and some people got in all the way down here. The number for tonight is not going to exceed 9,450, nor is it really going to include anyone, most people I suspect who got in here, or even possibly here. I think most of the people who got in are probably the majority of users, but I think the majority of sales might have only been 1,000 or 2,000. See what I'm saying? And then they still have to get the real bottleneck, which I contend is this. See, we're moving into a new era of challenges, which is you don't have to have specific moments to complete the challenge. And I look at this and I say, okay, well, what if the real bottleneck is these three together? This is the most prohibitive part of the challenge, is the three rares combined. So you need them. If they're there, you can get them. If you can't, you can't. And looking at these three, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way any part of this challenge is going to be more expensive. Not the Klay Vintage Vibes and not the 5 liters for tonight is going to be more expensive than this three here. This is the part that makes it a 2K or 1K mint. And this is an anomaly for this mint to be this expensive. It's a Top Shot debut, sure. It's still 9 times bigger than the Series 1 Top Shot debuts. I can't even think of the next highest Top Shot debut. So I'm not even really considering this. It's a faux Top Shot debut in a lot of ways because of how high the mint is. I mean, anyone could come out of the woodwork. Not that many people can. I mean, there could have been a lot more lists. Actually, the fact that there were a lot of lists leads me to believe that the price didn't go up that much, but it did go up enough. Like if there are enough mints so that the price could go up to here, but there aren't enough mints that it spiked double like we had with the Steph Curry record break when he broke Ray Allen's record for most threes all time. See, we went from 199 to 700. You know, we went up 300% at one point. So, would that be 200%? It would be 200%. We went up maybe 250% at one point for the Steph Curry challenge. This is not that. This is at best 50%, and not even really, because this 230, half of 230 is not $100. So at best, we're looking at 40-something%. A lot of people who were here probably kept it because they figured it makes more sense for me to get in, you know, to stay and not have to buy this back at the top and see if I can get involved in this challenge. That said, not everybody has these. So I'm still anticipating a 1 to 2K mint, but we have to evolve our definition of what bottleneck is. This is the bottleneck. Right here. This page is the bottleneck. You know what I'm saying? We have a new definition of what a challenge is. This is it. It's flexible. It involves a lot of different users from a lot of different cohorts, from a lot of different times in the life cycle of Top Shot, a lot of different set holders, the All-Star Game holders, the WNBA run it back, the regular run it back, or the NBA run it back, I should say, rising stars, and then there were 4, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people get rewarded here. If you just want to get out, I understand that, if you don't want to get out, if you want to get in, if you want to ride this challenge to the top of the airwaves, then my hat's off to you. You are brave. At best, this challenge, I think I've determined, will cost $250. And at worst, I think it's, if you're that determined to get this moment, the top cost of this challenge could be north of $820, could be $1,000 for some people, which if they can do that, great. I couldn't. If that was the price I had to pay, I simply wouldn't get in. I would sell whatever I could and take whatever I needed to take profit-wise. But looking at this is the key chart here, because if the mint were 2,000, this thing would have gone up maybe 200%. If the mint were 990, this thing could have gone up 250%. But because the mint is 10,000, I'm not saying the mint of the reward is going to be 600 like the Steph. This is not as record-inducing. This is not as historic as Steph breaking the all-time record. But as you can see, the price didn't go up that much, and there are enough mints where enough people can come in and say, okay, I want to take it from here to here, and I want to take it from here to here. But I don't really want to take it from here to here. Do I know exactly how many sales there were yesterday? No, I don't. Not off the top of my head, not in any significant way. But do I know that it would have only really taken there were more mints, so 1,000 people could have come out of the woodwork and capitalized on 80 sales that, where the demand spiked all the way up to here. So, or 500 sales. I don't think, if demand had been the whole 94.50, we'd be talking about a different story. Now, just to get out a little bit ahead of the curve here, for those who are wondering, yes, it is helpful to look at the season leaders for threes, but I thought I'd get a little more in-depth. See, my strategy for tonight is not going to be pick up everyone who shoots threes over the course of the season who has a game tonight. My thing, and I'm in a fantasy league, so these are fantasy teams, but my whole thing tonight is going to be, what is the lowest bar that I can reasonably expect will crack the top 5 tonight? And if it's 4 up, that's probably a safe place to get in if the price is low enough, right? So, for the year, if I go season average, yeah, it's 5 threes made, 3.5 threes, 3. So it would be reasonable to get somebody who made 3 threes tonight. And as we can see at this moment, the leader right now is a dude named, who are you? Exactly, Amir Coffey. Amir Coffey almost certainly does not have a Top Shot moment, so you don't have to worry about that. But 3 is pretty much the standard right now. That'd be Bogdan Bogdanovic, Bryn Forbes, Patty Mills, Lonnie Walker. Now, under normal circumstances, like the season average for the night, it'd be reasonable to conclude that the guys who made 3 threes tonight are going to be in or near the top 5, so a decent bet. However, the last 7 days tell a different story. Now, with all of the, and I'm of course going to refer to it as health and safety protocols, okay, the last 30 days of stats or the last 14 days of stats might not be so accurate, because a lot of guys got opportunities and didn't play in games they normally would have, So, Greg Monroe got a chance. Isaiah Thomas, made his triumphant return on 2 teams, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is the more accurate picture. And as we can see, Malik Monk has turned in 5.7 threes, has a game tonight against the Grizzlies. Anthony Simons was a beast the other night, 5.3. If you have a Simons, I would recommend keeping it. If you don't have a Simons, this could be something where I think you got to at least keep an eye on it, Malik Monk has been on fire lately, 25 points a game. Fred VanVleet has come in handy in plenty of Top Shot challenges lately, and that trend does not look likely to cease tonight. I've still got one, and I'm holding on to it. So, Duncan Robinson does not have a game tonight. Fred Malik Monk, Anthony Simons, Buddy Hield. Our boy Desmond Bane is healthy tonight? Is he healthy? Questionable against the Lakers. So I don't even know if he's going to go. I would not recommend getting a moment for a guy who may not even play when we know how expensive that moment is. So don't get too ahead of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, at least. Trey is seemingly healthy. Oh, no, Trey played tonight, and he had 1 3. That helps anyone who doesn't have a Trey. You're not going to have to worry about him. Darius Garland with 4 threes. Cleveland versus Golden State. I do think that's the game. I don't even know where's Steph Curry. He's not even in the top 25 tonight. Or for the last 7 days. Gary Harris, Lonzo, Devontae Graham. These are guys where I would expect to at least watch out for them. Lonzo's kind of prohibitive, so it's a potential bottleneck for tonight, or a potential mini bottleneck, I would say, which would make the price of the whole challenge go up, which would make the mint of the reward go down. Let me just check on time real quick. I'm at 20 minutes already. Okay. Obviously I can't tell you how many sales Klay Thompson actually had, right? But I do think that this graph is pretty telling because it's not 100%, it's 40%, which means it just makes more sense to ride this up to here and keep your Klay than it does to sell it and not try to get yourself involved in the rewards. At least maybe half of these cohorts probably had 1 rare 3 and thought, well, I might as well see if I can hack it out if I have the adapter for it. So I don't know. I can't tell you what the mint is going to be tonight. We shall see, right? But Saddiq Bey does not have a game, thank goodness. Anthony Edwards does. Anthony Edwards is prohibitive in terms of his cost. Darius Garland's pretty cheap. Cedi Osman has a Series 2, so he's $4 or $5, right? Nothing we can't hack there. I don't even know where Steph Curry is, but I think that Steph and Klay Steph turns up the volume for Klay's return. I suspect Steph gets at least 3 threes tonight, right? I think Steph is in the mix somewhere, right? To honor his brother coming back, his splash brother indeed, who, I love Klay Thompson. I can't imagine anyone not liking Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's great, right? But 3 threes, 4 threes, 5 threes. I think, Klay himself, just FYI, is on a minutes restriction tonight. He's only supposed to play 15 to 20. Now, I don't know if that'll hold, but I think there's a chance that it does. So be cautious. I don't see us needing 2 Klays tonight. You know what I'm saying? But Klay will play. I think Steph will be the better performer on the night, though. So that's my thinking, right? If a guy is hurt, don't worry about getting their moment, right? Who else could possibly pop up tonight? Norman Powell is out. Cole Anthony is in. I don't have a Cole. I might as well maybe finagle one somehow. Lou Dort is in. Lou Dort is a problem. We know it. He can get very, very hot. Reggie Bullock. Yeah, Reggie Bullock is. I forgot he was even on Dallas. Reggie Bullock may be part of the challenge tonight. Monte Morris. So obviously you can't have all these guys. I certainly don't. Kobe White is. I don't even realize he was on Chicago. He's actually having himself a couple of games here. Okay, great. I don't see him being the guy tonight. I don't think he cracks the top 5. Halliburton, Anunoby, Brad Beal, Garrison, man. I wouldn't worry about this so much. I'm really thinking it probably comes down to Fred, Steph, Malik Monk, Anthony Simons, and Buddy. Now, as always, if you can't hack it, you can't hack it. I think it could be a very valuable moment. I think EV could be pretty seriously plus for people who already had moments that were involved. If you didn't, though, I certainly can't blame you for not getting in. I think this could be a pretty prohibitive challenge tonight. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who is not initiated in the Top Shot market. This is a pretty medium advanced challenge. You know what I'm saying? I think that this challenge could be kind of prohibitive, but it's like the 7th time I've said that. I like that word. It makes sense in this context. But don't go crazy for a Desmond Bane if you're not, if you can flip, then flip, my hat's off to you. But I think that those are pretty much the stakes. This will be a medium to hard level challenge if we're using the parlance of tiered challenges. This will be a kind of a tough one, I think. So, just be responsible, play it safe. Don't get too far past what you can do. And I think that this challenge will be a fun one. It'll be a grueling one. It could be kind of hard. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but it'll be something like this. Might involve folks like Fred and Malik. And as always, Sharks, keep grinding, keep sharking, knowing that you can always count on me to be there. I don't know why this is becoming like my unofficial theme song. You can always count on me to be there to give you some sweet, sweet Top Shot content. And Morris Peterson, thanks you very much for your time today. And so do I. As for biggest Sharks of the future, there may be one this week, there may not. I'm not entirely sure. Nikola Vucevic, thanks you. Mike Conley, thanks you. Katie Smith, thanks you. Denny Avdia, maybe less so than the others, thanks you all the same. And whoever this is in my red little bubble here, thanks you as well. And good luck to everybody tonight. Hope it all goes well for y'all. If it doesn't, I'm truly sorry for any losses you end up having to take. I hope nobody takes any losses. But, let's see what happens. Let's get into it. And good luck to everybody tonight on the eve of a historic return. As always, your boy Top Shot Shark. See you soon.